webinar series Incubator has organized so that you cohort participants can interact with former cohort alumni. And today we have with us Ms. Shitija Shekhar. She is the founder of Rahi and also, as I told, an alumni of previous cohort. And as many of you don't know that she's also having a full-time job as well. So she's managing both her startup as well as her job. So today Miss Sudhira will be talking about her journey, the challenges she faced, how she took on a startup and scaled it after the cohort, how did she generate revenue and get funds, as well as she will also talk about how she managed both her job as well as how she managed the startup. So welcome, Ms. Shidija. We are very glad to have you here.
Thank you so much, Anshul. Thank you for your kind words. Just let me know if I'm audible.
Yes, you're audible.
Awesome. So I'll share my screen. I have prepared a PPT,
Sure, sure.
and okay, let's start. Let me know if it's visible.
Yes, it's visible. You can carry on.
Okay, awesome. So yep. So as mentioned by Anshul, so I'm the first speaker for the Alumni Talk series. Thanks a lot for inviting me. So let's talk about the agenda. So I'm going to talk about my Thinkubator's journey, like how we started at Rahi from an idea to what you see, what we have right now, and the problem faced and the other important stuff like knowing the customers and your market, and like Vikram shared like a Mentimeter picture wherein you all wanted me to speak about our do's and don't and other stuff. So I'm going to talk about it, and I have decided that I'm not going to keep it preachy. Like, there's like a lot of stuff to know and a lot of stuff to tell you all, but it's going to be a discussion. You all can actually put in your questions, and we can have a discussion and I can answer you all. So I'll try to finish the PPT in 15 minutes so that we can so that I can take up queries and questions and have like a discussion over here. Okay, so let's start talking about Rahi's journey with Cisco Incubator. So I'll actually tell you. So given the stats that you can see on my screen, so as of now, currently, we have around a 30 plus team member and around 1,000 app downloads on Play Store, 50 plus clients, 20 mental health professionals, including therapists and psychologists, and have impacted around 10,000 students, have partnered with a lot of famous hackathons. You've heard about Hackathon 2.0 and, Hack the Fall, etc. And we are also the runner up of Imagine Cup by Microsoft, and we are also member of Microsoft for Startups. And all of these have been possible because of the team and of my co-founders Mansi and Shubhangi, who are also here. So if you have any questions, you can also put that. PPT is not visible. Can
Uh,
anybody?
I think it's visible for me. Others, I think so. Michelle, you must be having some connection problem.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
others also are visible. So,
awesome,
Michelle, just check your connection once again.
awesome. So yep, I was saying that we have Shubhangi and Mansi also present for this meeting. So if you have any query, you can also put that in the chat box, and they could help you with the questions. So the fun fact here is that when we applied for Cisco Incubator Cohort 3, we were not selected for the first time. You were actually told, that your idea is awesome and you can maybe try for a mini project. So we kept on working, we kept on working for around 6 to 7 months with, and the best part about this that we got each and every support that a team in the cohort would get. Like, like it had everything like the same number of sessions, same number of guidance, and you know access to everything that a cohort team member would get. And you know so on a later stage when COVID came up, and A new program was introduced, TIP. uh, then what happened is like we were actually able to build a product in the whole 6-week program with Vikram and other mentors of ours. We actually developed a MVP for our idea. That is, if we talk about Rahi, so I'm so sorry I didn't tell you what Rahi is. So if I have to describe Rahi in like one sentence, I'll say that Rahi is a platform wherein you can get solutions related to your mental and emotional health. And one of our major solution is that we help you connect with mental health professionals. So it was a journey that started when we were in second year, and it's still going on. And lots of people joined us, and lots of people contributed. And if I have to tell you that our team is actually built of people who have now joined Google, LinkedIn, Microsoft, and Fidelity Investments, and all the major bank companies that we talk about. So the product that you see, it started from a vague idea wherein I just felt for an idea that mental health is something that I need to work on, because I suffered and I wanted to build on it. Then Mansi and Shubhangi joined. They felt what I am talking about, and how mental health services are scarce in India. And this is how we started journey and Thinkubator. And Prashant sir, be it Ramna sir, Vikram sir, they all helped us in each and every possible way they could, be it from funding or organizing sessions and boot camps with Rohan. So before Rohan session, we were actually not uh, earning revenue, to be very honest. It was all about our product, it was all about our app, it was all about website. We keep on iterating, or changing the design of our app, and thinking about this is something else we can add and stuff like that. But after the sessions that we had with Rohan, we actually started earning. Like, we got a confidence, like it's not necessary to have like a product or a tech solution only to start earning. So I think I'll thank you, Incubator, for this. So this is how we started, and as Anshul told you all, right now, all three of us have a job. We are a full-time employee. I work with ZS Associates. Mansi and Shubhangi is also employed with corporate. So it's hard. It's hard. I'm not going to say that it's really easy. It's as easy as it was for me in college. But till now, after the cohort program ended, we got like a lot of support, like the alumni program that we had like a number of sessions with Ramna sir, or like I told you about the Rohan session, and be it meetups and talking to you all. I think it's never ending support that we have got from Thinkubator, that we are still getting and we'll be getting. So last year, I also remember I was actually a part of TIP program, and Shashwat was speaking, and I was like, okay, wow, this is something, this is really cool. And here, like after 1 year, I'm here and I'm talking about my own experience. I think this is something you all will be doing the next year. Like, you'll be learning and gaining, and building your own product. And the next year you'll be telling your juniors of the cohort program, we see this is what we've built and this is how far we have come. So this is what Thinkubator does to you, gives you a lot of growth. So yeah, so talking about, like I said, I'll be talking about my journey and what all I learned when uh, throughout the journey of my Thinkubator, and also how we started Rahi at the initial stage. So when we started, so I used to spend a lot of time, thinking like, this is what, like, since I have felt for mental health, so I am the best person to think about my product. So I'll be like, I think like maybe I also need a journal in this app, or maybe I also want to read blog, or I also want to do this. But I never actually thought, there are like thousand other users who would also be using our app, and who would also who might not want to have a journal, or who might not be interested in actually reading blogs. So here is the most important learning that I think, each and everywhere you'll actually get to know. that if you are building something, you're building it for your consumers, for the people, it's not for yourself. So just shut up and listen to your consumer. This is the best advice that I've actually got. Then you just shut up and listen to your customer. What do they want? So this is actually something that I heard about in one of the YC's video. They were telling how Airbnb like actually went to their own consumers and saw like what they want and not what they thought that their consumers want. So this is where the gap come in. Not think like when you think that this is what our customer needs, and when you just go out in the market where your consumer are and talk to them that what they need. So yep. So the second thing, your idea or the product that you're building, it should be well researched. Like it's okay to have an idea, it's okay to feel for a problem. That's really good. But spend like a quiet time about researching about it, reading about it before jumping into building a solution for it. Like I have seen a lot of people, they got an idea and they just dived into the building a solution for it. That is not a good approach. Like somewhere down the line you're going to face issue with that. So even though we are a BTech CSE student and we were not much aware of mental health, we spent around 6 to 7 months. We still keep on reading about mental health, and we keep on reading about how it impacts the psychologist or the new stuff or different disorder or many other things. And in fact one of our co-founders started actually her post graduation in psychology. So this is how it's important to be well researched. So I'll tell you, like, we have attended a lot of pitch competition and we have pitched to a lot of investors also. So each and every time they ask us, like, how well researched are you? If you are telling me that this is the product, this is your app, then how can you say that, this is what your consumer want? What research do you have about it? So it's really important to have the domain knowledge. I'm not saying that that you cannot build a solution for someone who is in different field, but you should have like deep knowledge of what you are doing. And let's talk about product design and product management. This is actually one of the most important things when you come to a software product. I am not much aware of how things work in hardware products, but I think it's something similar. Like these are some skills that you need. So when we talk about product design and product management, it starts from the beginning. Like when you have an idea, you think, this is my idea, this is going to be my vision, this is going to be my mission, and these are going to be my features, and this is how I'm going to build my product. So when we talk about a product design, there are two terms, UI and UX. You might have heard a lot about UI and UX. UI is basically user interface and UX is basically user experience. So these are interrelated. When you talk about UI, there are several apps on the Play Store which is aesthetically very pleasing. You'll just fall in love with them, but many people do not use it. And there are apps which are used by like around 1,000 people, but they are not beautiful. Okay, they're like they're just like it's built like when Among Us started, people were like this has like shitty UI, but still people are using it. So you have to find a balance between UI and UX. How things are beautiful and yet useful for people. Like you have to think like yesterday I was attending a session uh, with the PM of Facebook. So she told me, so she mentioned about a term known as cognitive overloading, wherein she was talking about how you should not give your users a lot of choices because it causes your users to get confused and they are not going to actually use your feature. So when we started at Rahi, so we had like a lot of feature planned. Like I was like, we are going to put 100 features in our app and this is when we're going to launch it. But the thing is that when we start, our users started getting overwhelmed because of the lot of features that we had. They were like, "You what? Like, let's use this, let's use that," and they were not using anything. So you have to actually think what is something that is the most important part of your app and how you want the things to work around, you know, uh, in your app. So this is where UI and UX comes into, and product management is basically how you're managing, like, your tech product. Like, if you have a tech product, then if some new issues comes into play, then how you're tracking it, how you're assigning it to your team members, and is there a deadline, is there a sprint around it, and if are you out of your budget, or are you following up, are you like, following your plans, and is your product following the mission and the visions that you had set. So this is where product management comes into play. So you should actually watch couple of videos by Y Combinator. So Y Combinator has enough resources to help you all with your startup journey. So just get hop onto their YouTube channel or even their website, and they have like quite so many resources that you'll be able to get to know about. Okay, so this is one of the best lesson that I've got in my journey. I think I was also talking about this earlier. Do not wait to launch. Do not wait to launch. So when we started, it took me around 1.5 year to launch our app. Why? It's not that our product was not ready. Our product was ready before 12 months we launched. It was just that I was feeling like I need to put 100 more features, and I just felt like, maybe let's change this color, or maybe let's change this design, or maybe let's do this. It was all in our team. Nobody was using our product, nobody was actually giving us feedback. So uh, so one day we were just like, this is it, we are now going to launch our product, and now we are going to get feedback around it. So this was actually not done by me, it was actually done by the co-founders of Rahi. They were like, hey, let's launch it and let's see how it goes around. So we got like a lot of feedback that we actually didn't know about, and we actually stopped building on our next uh, version because of the feedbacks that we got from the version 1. So there were like so many insights that I couldn't even imagine that I could have thought about it. So this is why I put like a lot of emphasis when I say that launch an experiment and don't wait for the whole product to build. And experimentation is it's like one of the most important part also. You cannot predict what's going to happen before you actually experiment. There could be a lot of things that you want to experiment. So like have a beta release and test with some of our users and see how they react to it, and then apply to your app. So this would actually help you a lot. So one of our favorite experiment that we always talk about is that s- we our Instagram bio, it had like some it had some good words, like that if you'll read it, you'll feel like, oh, this is really good. But we did not used to get much clients. So when we changed it to like DMS help. If you are looking for therapist, we started actually getting clients because it was so simple. It had a call to action, like if you want help, just DMS help. You are not giving your users a lot of options, like you're just telling them that if you need help, just DMS help, and this is how we're going to help you. So it actually helped us to get a lot of clients, and also to help them. So this is one uh, uh, post are liked by our users, what kind of content they interact most with. Like when we launched our app, we thought that the most important thing that the users would love is going to be the the like we had like ample features like the journal thing or the community thing. But we were surprised to see that people were actually loving notifications, simple notifications that I used to send through Firebase. So I got like a lot of message came in, like we love these reminders, we love these notifications. So you never know what your users are liking, so you will never actually know if you wait till you finish your whole product and launch. So, yes, this is actually my favorite point whenever I talk about Rahi and the learnings that we got. So, have a good business plan. If you're going to invest, if you're going to pitch to our investors, that's good that you're talking about your problem statement or how you want to impact people or how you want your, uh, how your solutions is the best. But the problem here is that your investor is putting their money. So they are going to look out for how you're going to grow their money. Okay. Nobody's going to put their hard earned money to, to see, to lose it. So you have to somehow make your investor believe that this is our fail proof plan and this is how we're going to earn money. Like if in your business plan it's good to write about your target market and your revenue stream and etc, but one of the very important part is to also write about if you get some money and how you're going to invest it, how you're going to scale it up. For example, you have 100 users now, so you are looking for 20 lakhs. But if you get 20 lakhs, then how you going to utilize it so that it goes on to maybe 1,000 users, maybe to lakh users. So I was actually watching a video wherein it explained beautifully like what is the difference between a normal business and a startup. In a normal business and a startup, the rate of growth in a startup should be exponential, and it doesn't matter in business. Like in business it's okay, like you are growing at a rate of maybe a 2% or 5%, but at startup, like if you see the example of different startup, be it like your Zerodha, ya fir Zomato, how they how they have grown up into such large businesses now. So this is what we call startup. So you can actually go to YC's YouTube channel and watch these videos for yourself and know more about it. So, yeah, and it's really important to also document what your vision, mission, and goals are. Like when you start, it, like this is our goal, this is our vision, this is our mission, and you're like maybe five people. When you start scaling it up, you have around 30 people, and you just can't manage all of them. No, so if you are building a feature, and then you have to take any decision, then having vision, mission, and goals in a document would actually help you take decision. Okay, that this is our vision, and if this decision is actually matching what our vision, then let's move forward with it. This is how it's going to help you. So again, I emphasize on it, I that please document your vision, mission, and goals. Please keep on having a plan, like this is a 60-90 days plan, and have a good KPI matrix, like this is how we're going to measure, like we are doing good. So there's this matrix known as North Star matrix. So for Airbnb, they track how many number of nights spent by a user. So it's not like they are not tracking revenue, they are tracking how many number of nights spent by the user. So you can read more about it on, you know, uh, like you'll find more about this North Star Matrix on internet. So these are the some very important point that you should look forward to. Then yes, this is one of my favorite part. At Thinkubator, we had like a lot of teams in cohort three, be it Sashwat or Akash's startup. We actually got to know, what other people are building. We used to network with them, know their pain points and know how they are doing forward, if we can collaborate with them, if we can provide, or if we can solve something for them, or if they can solve something for us. So networking is very important when it comes to startup and entrepreneurship. Like you can just go and attend any LinkedIn's event. So I'll just give you an example. So there was this stand-up stand-up comedy video by Rahul Subramaniam. So he was doing crowd work, and so he was just roasting one of his one some member of the crowd, and he had like a startup. So what I did was like I just went on to Google and I just searched for his startup, And then I realized that his startup is actually a platform wherein you can network with other startups, and they had like brainstorming sessions. So one day I just joined his brainstorming session, and therein I got like a lot of good points. Like I was actually able to meet the person who was getting roasted in that crowd work, and he gave me a lot of very insightful comments, and there were like couple of people who were interested in mentoring us and helping us out. So out there, if you seek help, there are people who are going to help you, but you need to be beware, like who you are reaching out to, who is helping you, and how you're doing things. But if you want to, but this is a very important thing, networking. So Sashwat and I, we are both in the same industry. Even though we are competitors, but we are not enemy. We are actually evolving together. So if someday I am having any issue, I'll just call him and ask him, hey Sashwat, we're stuck here. How are you moving? How did you, solve this issue? So he's not going to share his, of course, business secret, but he does tell me, Shataja, this is what we did, this is how we proceeded, and it helps me. And the same happens, like if he's stuck somewhere, he asks me. So this is how we go grow together, and I think this is what I one of the most beautiful thing in startups journey, that you all can learn together, you can grow together. So keep networking, reading, and gaining exposure. Reading and gaining exposure doesn't mean that you will stop once you have job. Like when I started my job, I am in a consultancy service. It's pretty hectic for me, but initially I wasn't able to put in so much amount of time into learning. Like I'm not doing courses and watching videos and stuff, but I used to spend maybe 10 to 15 minutes on maybe Twitter or maybe on LinkedIn and reading articles from HBR, or maybe from Twitter threads, following people in the startup field. So gaining knowledge is what I am talking here about. It's not necessary that you have to follow the conventional method. So keep on doing how things are. Do not take much pressure of how the other people are doing over social media. And have a good team. It's really important. Having a good team the is I think is why Rahi is where we are. I mean, people who contributed, people who were there when we were low, when we felt like, this is the, like, this is somewhere we will not be able to move forward. Our team, they motivated us. They motivated us to go forward, to do things. So the slides that you're seeing is actually, these have been made by one of our team members. They actually helped me to make this. So having a great team is very important, and it might take time to find a good team, but I am telling you, it's going to be worth it. So please do spend a lot of time on building your team and your culture. I know these might sound things like these are secondary, but other than your product and revenue, having a good team and a culture is going to help you a lot in the long run. So, gaining users' trust, and getting early adopters. Early adopters are the users who get on your products when you launch early and who are still using it. So talk to them, talk to them why they're using your product and what they're liking it. See their persona, reach out to more people like them, and build a brand. Like, one of the best thing that happened with Rahi is that people trusted us. People trusted that we are going to help them, and it's going to be confidential, and it's going to be good for them. Like I have, like, many friends who get um, yeah, who get like different facility to connect with a therapist and a psychologist at their own office, but they chose Rahi because of the trust, because of the brand that we are. We try to reach out to people, we try to feel, what they are feeling. So empathy is how we are building our brand. Like we are talking to our users, understanding what they want, and treating your users like king is the one of the best way, I'll say, to build a brand. And also building a community around it. So we have, like, different community events. Like we have movie nights, musical nights, and wherein just people hop in and talk to us and share their view. We listen to them, and this is how community grows. So recently, one of our community member donated around 15,000 on their birthday to help us provide therapy to underprivileged uh, group. So having a community is very important, and it's going to help you in the long run also. So mm, I think yep. So before talking about this, um, I know that I didn't talk much about how we got the revenue. So for us, after Rohan session, we realized that having a virtual product is good, having a tech product is good, but we are just not limited to our tech product. That is not only the way how we can actually start earning revenue. So we have like different revenue streams. We earn money through by commissions through the therapy, like we help people get therapy from one of the best psychologists in India, and we cut a minimal amount of commission from their fees. So this is one of our major income source. Secondary is that we conduct workshops and sessions with different schools, or organizations or corporates, and we have our app. So this is how we are earning as of now, but that's not limited. We are experimenting, we're learning, and we're seeing how we can grow. And so as of now, our model, even though we do have a tech product, but it's the management around our scheduling and connecting with the therapist is not related to our app or website. Though it though our app and website is a very important tool in aiding us to complete the procedure, but it's not the only thing that we have. So I mean, that's the only thing that I'll say. Do not depend on your tech product for everything. If things are not working out, it's okay. Pivot and see, what else you can do. Experiment, talk to your mentors, talk to people at Cisco Incubator, how things are going on. Talk. This is how we did at Rahi. And my final suggestion would be, however hard it becomes, seek help. Do not hesitate in taking help. We did take help whenever we felt low. We went to Prashant, so we went to Sahan. We were like, hey, we're not able to move forward. What do you suggest? What should we do? So other than talking about business, they did motivate us, they did help us a lot. So seek help, take a break, do not quit. However hard it becomes, do not quit. Talk to your peers, and you can also reach out to Rahi. We do have good psychologist and therapist at affordable rate. We're going to help you with that. Keep acknowledging yourself. You're doing a good job, a very good job. Do not be harsh on yourself. So that's all from my side. That's all from our team. Is there any questions? I love to answer your question. You can connect with me. I love to, connect separately and talk about your product and your startup. And if you have any other questions, you can email me. You can, connect with me on LinkedIn or Instagram. Do follow us at Rahi. You'll love our content on Instagram. It's rahi.mentalhealth. So, yep. I hope I hope it wasn't much preachy. Let me know if you have any query. I'm sure to talk about those. Thank you. I hope somebody's going to take over.
Hello, hello. Yeah,
Hello.
am I audible?
Yeah, yeah, Anshul, you're audible.
Yeah. So thank you, ma'am. It was a really great session. So I guess the participants can unmute themselves and ask questions. Like if they have any questions for ma'am, and she will answer it for you.
Okay.
Preferably, try to unmute yourself so that will be a good interaction.
Yeah, yeah, I'm here, and you can ask me any question, however silly it would be.